What up, what up, what up, YouTube? Welcome back to Get Tactical. It's your favorite YouTuber, DZ, back at you with yet another video. Go ahead, drop a like, share it, tell your friends, and most definitely subscribe. Today's video is gonna sound a little bit different. Like, you guys are used to the motto around here on the channel, which is, say it with me, guys, stay strapped or get clapped. That's the motto. I'm always advocating for, you know, the 2A, carrying, self-defense with the firearm and all that good stuff. I love it. However, there are some people out there who do not need a firearm whatsoever, right? And some of this stuff you guys have probably seen yourself. Ooh, look good. But anyway, you guys are probably seeing some of this stuff yourself. I'm not just making it up. There's some people out there who do not need a firearm. I'm gonna give you guys some examples. For one, okay, if you're somebody who's quick to anger, right? If any little thing sets you off, throws you over the edge, right? If you see red when you get mad, you probably don't need a firearm, okay? If you don't have the self-control to control yourself over any little thing, even if it's something as big as an accident, you know, when it's the other person's fault at that too, you know, name calling, stuff like that. If that type of stuff throws you over the edge, you might as well go ahead and just take that idea of you getting a firearm and just go ahead and hold on to it. You got bigger issues. You need to work on your self-control, your anger management, and then that's probably the biggest two that I would say. Yeah, if you're somebody that has a short temper, you definitely do not need a firearm. There was a video I seen, tons of videos out there. You guys just gotta look, you know, and I don't even be looking for it. It just pops up on my feed, right? So this guy, right, he's fighting with this lesbian girl. She looks like, you know, a little bit on the butchier side, a little bit heavy, you know. She probably looks like a little bit heavier than him. Anyways, they're getting into an argument, and then they ended up fighting. So the guy, he ends up manhandling the girl, right? You know, he's using his strength to toss her around, slamming her up against the car. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he's already got control of the girl. He's got her pinned up against the car. What does he do? He pulls out his firearm, and he puts it right here to the side of her head. And I'm just like, whoa, wait a minute. Bro, you just went from 0 to 100. Like, there's no need for you to do that. For one, you had control over her. For two, it's a female. Granted, you know, whatever her preference is, you know, if she wants to act like a man, that's a whole different topic, right? But from the looks of it on the video, he had complete control over her. Just boom, had pinning her right there up against the car. There was no need to escalate it even further, right, by pulling out a firearm. I don't know what he was trying to do. If he was trying to scare her, if he was trying to intimidate her in some way, make her leave, I'm not sure. But in my opinion, there was no need for that. So number one, if you're somebody with a short temper, you don't need a firearm. Number two, if you're somebody that does not know how to properly handle a firearm, you don't need one. If you don't know the proper way to handle a firearm, you shouldn't be carrying it. There are so many videos out there, dozens. You probably can make a whole collage, montage, compilation, a whole series on these videos, right? People accidentally letting rounds off, shooting themselves, or harming people around them. If there was a hotline or a statistic, I'm pretty sure we will see that happens almost every day. From the amount of videos that I've seen, I'm pretty sure it happens every day. So that's number two. If you're someone who doesn't properly know how to handle a firearm, you definitely don't need one. Like I said, there are some factors. If you're going to go get the training for it, if you're learning right now, then okay. But just don't carry, okay? Unless you're for sure competent enough to carry that firearm with you. The third type of person who doesn't need a firearm is the certified crash out. We've all seen these types on the internet. The internet is a crazy place, man. You see all sorts of different variety of people out there, you know, from the upper class all the way down to the slums. Okay, but the certified crash out, that's the person who has nothing to lose, right? who is really reckless in their behavior, who doesn't have a care for anyone or anything around them. You know, they're just willing to throw everything away. That's the third type of person who doesn't need a firearm, right? Because that leads to shit like, you know, mass shootings, you know, shootings in public places, you know. And it's not just guns, firearms, you know, that could be with a knife and everything too, but just sticking on the topic of guns, right? Because I can go on a whole tangent for hours about this, but yeah, those are the type of people, in my opinion, that don't need a firearm. Those are the type of people that make gun owners like myself look bad, okay? Because I'm promoting, you know, the proper handling of a firearm, also firearm safety, and then I'm also promoting self-defense. So if you're someone that's out there that has a short temper and you're just pulling your gun over any inconvenience, that's not self-defense. That's definitely not, you know, the proper handling of a firearm. And that's not, you know, what the Second Amendment was made for. So that's what I'm promoting, guys. If you're someone out there that may be in violation of any of these that I mentioned, you might as well just go ahead and not think about getting a firearm. Or if you have one already, that's another thing. You guys need to take a serious look at yourself. Like, man, maybe I do got anger issues, you know, because you might need some therapy, you know, and nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with getting therapy at all. Get yourself right up here, right? And another thing I would say about people who don't need a firearm is if you're thinking about harming yourself, right? For those of you that know, I don't really talk about it a lot because I just don't. But this is a channel for it, right? I had a friend that took his own life, you know what I mean? That sucks. You know, it's devastating. It's really more than devastating, but that's the only word that I could think of to describe that situation. It's horrible. Okay? It really is damaging. It does damage to way more than you could think. So if you're someone out there that's having those type of thoughts too, you definitely don't need a firearm. If you have some, there are organizations out there that you can reach out to, you know, that'll hold your firearms for you until you get yourself right mentally. But for sure, if you're thinking about harming yourself, you don't need a firearm either. But that's just my quick, short and simple, sweet, straight to the point on why certain people don't need firearms, right? Because I'm tired of idiots with guns making the law-abiding citizen look bad, you know. And really, in reality, I'm pretty sure all my subscribers will agree with this, but the reason why we carry in the first place is for self-defense, you know, protecting ourselves and our family, our loved ones, and then also upholding the Second Amendment, because that's our right. It's our God-given right to protect yourselves. If you got people out here that's, you know, basically throwing dirt on the gun community, making us look bad, how is that gonna help us when it comes to, you know, laws being changed, bills being passed, confiscation? They're trying to take away certain firearms and firearms accessories, you know, because of XYZ, you know. I can go on a little bit more about this. I'm not going to go too far deep into this. I'm just going to say I feel like some of that stuff is propaganda. You know, they could be, people say things like false flag attacks and things of that nature, but really, I'm just doing my part to make sure that people who follow me are responsible. So that way we can stop pointing the finger at, oh, they're trying to do this, they're trying to take away our gun rights, they're trying to, you know, do a false flag. Forget that. Just keep spreading the message, y'all, that, you know, we're doing shit the right way. And then when we see people out there that's reckless, right, we need to hold them accountable. That's it. So, short, sweet, something simple from your boy. Don't forget to drop a like on this thing, share it, subscribe, and that's it. As usual, y'all, it's a crazy world out there. Crazy. Just make sure y'all stay strapped, okay? And train. Don't forget to train. Go ahead, drop a like, share it. It's your boy D, and I'm out. Peace.